an ode to the women detained for running afoul of Hong Kong's national security law. Last week, Elizabeth Tang, the wife of imprisoned unionist Lee Chuk-yan, was arrested for protesting in front of a prison. She's one of the many women now being charged with incitement to commit subversion.
Many of the women that are being arrested even for taking part in pro-democracy protests, and this includes peaceful protest, whether it's attending candlelight vigils or holding up sheets of blank white paper.
Some Hong Kongers say they once took pride in the country's judicial fairness and separation of powers. But since protests in 2019 and the introduction of a national security law the following year, there's been a crackdown on protesters and former opposition lawmakers. Some mothers taken from their families for exercising basic freedoms they once had.
That is not fair to allow them, to let them to stay in the prisons and waiting for the trials, just waiting for the court days or waiting to go to the court. That's not fair.
Local media report some as young as 13 years old were detained, spending hundreds of days behind bars.
When it comes to minors, there's usually a special legal procedure to protect them and to make sure that they have what they need, even though they might be charged or they will later be convicted. But this is not the case in Hong Kong, as long as related to political cases.
This month, UK MPs called for the release of politician Claudia Mo. In 2016, Miss Mo told the ABC she was worried about the CCP's growing control over Hong Kong's constitution and concerned the region's freedoms would soon disappear.
People like me can easily be disqualified as well, and that's very worrying. We have to fight back.
Concerns which transpired into a grim reality. Women and girls make up 6.9% of the global prison population. Hong Kong has the highest proportion of female prisoners in the world at 20%, with Australia sitting at 6.9%.
We also have concerns about the severe restrictions of civic space more generally, including the arbitrary detention of human rights defenders and lawyers, and the impact of the national security law in Hong Kong.
There is definitely an increasing trend of more and more female being in prison in Hong Kong. The reason for that is there's just more and more people being sent behind bars in Hong Kong.
Raising awareness away from home for those who no longer can. Tom Canetti, ABC News.